Hi guys, it's Mel and Jacqie here.
Hi.
Welcome, Jacqie.
Hi, Mel.
Thank you for joining us.
Total pleasure.
I'm pretty excited. So Jackie's going to be doing a lot more of these, and when we do some podcasts,
Yes.
you're going to be involved. So it's going to be super exciting. So welcome to our Christmas special. We have the most amazing little guest with us today. This is Fizzy, the Japanese Spitz, and down behind us we've got two Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Yes.
They're Jacqie, so tell us a bit about those.
Yeah, so we've got Angus, the Blenheim. I don't know, can you?
No.
You guys can't see him. So I've
We'll
got
get there.
Blenheim Angus, and I've got my black and tan Lance.
So which one are you going to trim?
Angus,
Angus.
I think.
Okay.
Because he'll be quiet on the table.
Okay, perfect. So today we are going to trim feet, and I'm going to be trimming Fizzy's feet. Now this is going to be interesting because we were just chatting that these two dogs are, I would say, almost untrimmed breeds. I know Cavaliers are.
Yeah.
Would you say they slightly get trimmed?
Yeah, there's a bit of grace where people think, it's a fine line to walk between untrimmed and groomed.
Yeah.
So we're going to walk that line.
Yeah, and I think, and when I was talking to Jen, my good friend who owns Fizzy, we were chatting about, she's like, oh, don't trim too much. I'm like, no, because generally when people have these breeds, they don't like them over trimmed. Would you say, Jen? She's nodding her head. So I think it's going to be interesting because we're just going to do some natural feet. A Japanese Spitz has a round cat-like foot, so nice and round, nice and tight. So at the moment she looks like she's got little slippers on, so I'm going to completely scissor those. So we'll just jump straight into that right now. So I'm going to try and... Does she sit, Jen?
Yes.
Sit. Oh, there we go. So getting her to sit. So she's pretty excited. This is her first time on TV, so it's exciting.
Pressure.
The pressure. Okay, so I'm going to use my straight scissors first, and I might get Jacqie just to steady her on the table. Okay, so we are going to do her little pads first. So this is this area around the base of her foot. So I don't know if you guys can see that.
Sit down.
And
Yeah.
so
There we go.
we can see that foot.
Beautiful.
Yep,
Yeah,
perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use my straights for the base of her foot, and I'm going to just use the tips of my scissors and just coming gently in between the little pads. And one of the reasons why I don't clip out pads on Spitz breeds is because if I clip out too much, you can actually dint in between the two pads and it can make a little bit of a gap. And remember, we want a really natural foot. Around you go, Dale. Okay, so using our slicker to get all those little hairs out. And using the tips to come right around. And I really like to build my foot from the base up and around, especially if we're trying to create a really round foot. And I'm not going to go up the back of the foot too much because, again, we're trying to keep it au naturel. And then switch the foot around. Brush all that hair up. And we can see, and I hope you guys can see, we don't want to go any shorter than the short part of her hair, so the little bit. So we're just taking off this long fringe areas, so the fluffy areas. Because as soon as I take this shorter, what it might do is make that foot really flat, and we do not want a flat foot. We want nice and round. So again, let's use our slicker, brush all those hairy bits up. And then I'm going to pop my straight, good girl, pop my straights straight up around those toes and then start to come around the top of the foot. Hang on, that's all right. Good girl. To get it nice and round. And then I'm going to cross check. So put her little foot on the ground and I'm going to grab some thinners. And then lift her little foot up again. Now I like to just run my thinners over the top, and it's just where the nails are. So just coming around just to create, so the hair's a lot shorter. So we, hang on, Joel, hang on.
Not the scissors.
Not the scissors. So around her nails is a lot shorter than what is on her knuckles. Hang on, hang on. Stay steady.
There you go. Good girl. Good girl.
And then coming up around those knuckles. So we don't want to take the hair on the knuckles too short because we want it nice and round, so creating round little feet. And then pop it back on the ground. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh. Nothing like a nice foot. Okay, so then we're going to go to the back foot. So I'll get Jack just to steady her on. Yep, and I'll just grab my straights again. So using our slicker, let's brush all this hair up and out. And using our straights, and I do prefer to use straights, but if you've only got curves, curves is fine. And when I'm supporting her knee, I'm actually holding her knee in the palm of my hand, so she's really well supported as I'm trimming this back leg. So I don't want to hold the leg out like this. I want it nice and supported so she can fully trust me. Good girl. So brush all those little hairs out. And with her back little feet, I'm actually going to come right on the outside of her pad area. So all these little hairs here, when the foot is on the ground, that there's nothing hanging over the table. And really using the tips of your scissors. And then I'm going to use my fine tooth comb and pull all those little hairs out on her hock area. And I'm not going to come straight up with my straights, but I'm going to use my thinners and just take a small amount off. Good girl. So it's just nice and neat and tidy. So when that foot's on the ground, it doesn't look overly trimmed, it's just neat. And then pop her foot back up, and we can see how long her foot actually looks with all the little fringing around. And then use our slicker again. Brush all those little hairs up. And coming around, and I do like to pop my scissors straight up to begin with, because this is what starts our round foot. And then cross check. Oh, good girl, good girl. And then coming on the top, and remember, we don't want to take the hair any shorter than her natural hair here on her foot. And then do that process again. And just keep remembering the shape, a round cat foot, so nice and round. And then pick her foot up, do the same process, but this time I'm going to use my thinners and come up and around. Oh. And then pop that foot on the ground. So then we can see how nice and round her little feet are. Okay, so is it... thanks, Rose. Hi, Tara. Any questions about our little feet, guys? No questions? Where are we all from? So New Zealand. Oh, hey, Christine. Christine's from Asia somewhere. Fizzy. Fizzy's dad's watching.
Oh, cute.
Shane.
Hi, Fizzy's dad.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, come at this side.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
Okay, so we might start to swap our dogs now and pop one of the Cavaliers onto the table.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
right.
So Miss Fizzy Pants.
All right, ready, steady. There we go. All right, okay.
Okay.
Ready? Good boy. There we go. Sorry, I'm going to move your scissors.
I'm going to move, that's fine.
Yeah. They'll become a projectile with that tail. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, and I better get mine out, I guess. That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Okay.
She's good.
So, what am I got here? Oh, yeah. Cool. Beautiful. So this is my dog. This is Angus. He's, how old are you now? He's 8.
He's 8?
He was a show dog. But now he enjoys the couch life.
Okay, so what is his colour?
So this is considered Blenheim, which is a deep red colour on white. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got to say about the colour.
So if you notice, so I use a lot of thinners on feet, and I can see that you've got your thinners out. And do you use straights at all?
No, for this particular trim, the straights and curves stay in their cases.
Okay, so why is that, do you think?
I prefer a more of a natural finish on especially feet, especially ears, because the breed standard does say free from trimming.
Yeah, the same as the Spitz.
Same as the Spitz.
Yeah.
That you don't want any harsh lines, no harsh lines.
Yeah.
All natural, all smooth. And I guess like with the thinners, if you make a mistake, it's not so obvious, and you can go over it again with the thinners and make more of a natural shape.
Yeah.
So like the Spitz, we're aiming for a round shape.
Yeah.
I usually follow the natural shape of the foot to achieve the shape.
Okay.
And keep it a bit longer.
Okay, so what are we all doing when, because I know I don't have Cavaliers in this coat. Jen, do you have Cavaliers in this coat? No. My friend Jen's like, no, we don't. So then if we're doing a number 7, because it's hot here at the moment, it's summer, so we're doing a number 7. So what would you use for the foot then? Would you run your blade over the foot?
No, I would still, like, you'd take the 7, so say you're doing the back foot, and you run the 7 down the back of the hog.
Yeah.
And you've got all these fluffy bits on the end. I would go in first with, say, like a round scissor.
Yeah.
And then come in with your thinner just to tighten it up and make it look a bit more natural. I wouldn't do anything on top of this foot. I'd take it really short to where the nails are, and then possibly get your thinners and run over, those wispy bits that are just on top of the toe. Just to keep it a bit more of a nice round. Like, I'm sure everyone's seen those Cavaliers that come into the shop and their feet structure isn't the best.
Because they're like this.
Really splayed, splayed.
And it happens as dogs get older as well. Like it can happen with poodles as well.
Yeah.
Like as they get older, they can get a bit heavier.
Yeah. So obviously the foot, the foot structure isn't as tight as it is when they're young. So I generally don't try and brush that hair up and cut it all off, because then all those little toes start poking out. So cut it really short up to the nail and just then soften it off with a thinner and make it look neat. And just hide those toes.
So the thinners that I was using were the Sisons.
Yes.
Sisons. So these are new, these scissors, these collections. So I really like them. We'll play with them before. So these ones are available from DGS. So they're blenders, they're thinners. There's quite a few different ones. Now, Jacqie is a left-hander, so
I got to watch. Yes, I got to watch.
Yeah, exactly. She only gets to watch when I try new scissors because I'm right-handed. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of options for left-handers at the moment.
No.
So your go-to is mostly Kenshi?
Mostly Kenshi. So I've got the Shinobis on me today, and I've also got these are a cheap pair I got from England, but they're curved. So you get that really nice round foot with a curve thinner, and then I'll come in with, because it's a bit more of a finer tooth on this one, that you can, make it look nice. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you are going to clip first. Yes.
So this is a difference, like I, especially with an untrimmed breed, I tend to scissor the pads out, but you're going to clip.
I'm going to clip, again, just because I want that tighter foot. That when you leave a lot of hair in between the toes, the feet generally, on this breed, I find splay out. So I like a nice clean foot. But in the summer, I might do it on like a 10 or a 15.
Okay.
Just to prevent getting the bindies and all that stuff
there
in between the
so
toes.
Many prickles and grass seeds and bindies and that around Melbourne at the moment. So
crazy, and the hot concretes and all that stuff. I'd rather leave a bit of hair.
I'm forever pulling stuff out. My dogs, or they got their teeth trying to pull out the grass seeds and bindies and all that.
All right.
Okay, so which leg are you starting with is the question.
Because he's really comfortable. I might just turn him around and we'll do this foot here. All right.
Okay, so.
Ready? Oh, actually, that's better. Perfect. So when, say I'm doing a foot and I want this shape to be a bit longer, what I'll do is make a hole with my hand and push the foot through.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hole, so all that hair is pushed away and I only have the hair on the paw pad. All this hair is pushed out of the way.
All the fringing.
Yeah. So if I want to keep that fringe, I just push it out of the way. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to ask Mel to hold his ear out the way.
Sorry,
Because we've had accidents before.
I'm good at holding hair back. I'm a real pal.
One of the girls.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that right? Yeah?
Yeah, perfect.
And we're just taking the hair out of the paw pad there, which he loves that.
Are you being smart?
Yes, I can see. He gets ticklish, so I try to do it just a little bit at a time, because if he flicks his foot, it only takes one mistake. So we're just taking the hair in between the toes, right up to the nails.
You know how before I mentioned about the reason I don't clip is because you can take out too much in between the last pad? And then it can leave a bit of a hole, because I've seen people do that with a lot of gun dogs as well. And I'm like, oh.
Now, I've discovered some dogs I will do just that first layer behind that paw pad. But I'm holding this hair. So it shouldn't, I say that, shouldn't cut more, because a dog that's a bit flatter on its feet, if you cut that hair away, they appear a bit higher up on that foot. But every dog is different. I just do it because I like doing it.
See, with Fizzy, she's got really nice feet, and she's got nice knuckled feet, so easy feet.
He, in his older age, is probably a bit down on that paw pad.
He's already snoring.
I
don't know if anyone can hear that he's snoring.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Right. So again, because I'm coming up towards the front of those toes, I'm just going to push them out the way with my hand. So now it's just the paw pad hair exposed.
So, and it's the same technique whether you're clipping or scissoring. We're always starting with the pad because then we're going to build the foot up from the bottom up.
Yeah. And I couldn't imagine trying to build this beautiful foot and then the last thing you do is cut that paw pad hair away and you just ruin the bottom of the shape of your foot.
Yeah. And we always need to check how the foot is looking when it's on the ground as well. So I know
you probably
that
don't need this on and we'll spin you around.
I know that sometimes like you see people trim feet and then it looks beautiful as they're holding the foot and then they put it on the ground and it's like, oh
no.
So it is really important to constantly check how the feet look on the ground.
Yeah. You're looking all right?
Yeah.
Hey. There's some grooming action.
As a groomer, I love nice feet.
Yeah.
There's nothing nicer than seeing a beautiful scissored foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that just rises up from the table instead of sinking into it. It's just really pretty.
Yeah.
When you get it right.
Because it doesn't matter what breed it is. It can be a Spitz, poodle, gun dog, spaniels.
Yeah, regardless. And I think a lot of the time some groomers skip over that and don't realise how much it completes the groom to have these beautiful feet.
And it also makes a groom last longer as well, which is really important for our pets.
Yeah, and especially those dogs that might get, like the yucky, yeasty feet.
Yeah.
You want a nice, clean foot so it's easier to treat.
Yeah.
Keeps dry.
Yeah.
Good boy. I know he doesn't like the front feet.
He's doing all right.
Yeah,
he's got these ears. Oh my goodness.
I know. When I was showing him, nowhere to be found. Yeah. Retired him, and then these beautiful ears came out, and I was like, "Thank you." Cool. So that's all the paw pads done.
Awesome.
Just grab that slicker brush from here.
Perfect.
So when I'm trimming feet, again, you don't want anything really touching the table, and Cavalier still apply. So I brush everything down, and then it might be easier for me on the other side, just because I'm left-handed.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to stand.
Is true.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
You're right this side. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. I might just turn him this way, just so.
Yep. You tell me where.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So
this is interesting because I brushed everything up with the Spitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll brush everything.
Okay,
down.
Would you do this if the foot was shorter? If it was a dog that was coming in 6 weeks?
I still do. I think it's just a good habit to be in. So say I trimmed all this leg and I hadn't trimmed the foot, I'd still brush it all down and then hold the thinner to the paw pad.
Yeah.
And anything that falls below the paw pad, I'll just take away. So it is going to take a bit longer because I'm using a thinner, but I don't have to re-go over it with the thinner, and I'm going to get that natural kind of shape to the dog.
Oh, thanks, Tara.
Thanks, Tara. I didn't see it, but thank you.
About our outfits.
Mel was very generous because I rocked out in full uniform thinking we're going to rock and roll. And Mel's like, where's your jumper?
It's Christmas.
I was like, oh, no. I failed the stream. We haven't even started yet.
Oh, hey, Karen. Merry Christmas.
So now we've done the underneath.
Yep. Okay, so when you showed him, how were his feet?
His feet.
Did you tidy up the pads at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pads were always done just for especially on a white dog.
Yeah.
For hygiene's sake, it's just easier to keep a white foot when the pads are clean.
Yeah.
And then to trim.
Yeah.
Now, to say the breed standard, free from trimming, but I still did this because it's still the pad.
Yeah.
So I was just fanning my scissor out from the pad and just cleaning all this up.
Yeah.
I didn't trim so hard to the feet But if you're trimming a dog for the salon, a lot of people can't keep up. You know, they drack in dirt, water, all the grass, all the things.
They slide on boards, on like the flooring.
Yeah, that's right. So to keep them in a breed shape but manageable.
Yeah.
So it's just walking that line between, the breed standard and cleanliness and ease of use for pet parents.
Yeah.
So once we've done underneath, I'm going to use the nails as a guide for me and use the scissor to the nail and work my way around to a nice round shape.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just sorting out Dash.
Oh, God.
Dash, hop up there, please. Dash. Dash has been very naughty today.
He's on his worst behaviour.
I know. He's just,
Won't get presents. Santa won't come if you're being so naughty.
Yeah, he says he's got his own money. He'll buy his own stuff.
His own present.
Yeah.
So I'm just using my curved thinner and working my way around. And as I work my way around, I'm feeling for the nail. And that's going to guide me because I don't want to go past the nail because you don't want to show nails on this particular breed.
Come here, please. Let's sort out the
There's
children.
Always one. There's
a few.
It was mine before.
There's a few today.
I know. And then we'll just come around. Snorting in your hand. Such a dog.
So this is done with the Kenchi thinners?
No, these. So these are just a no-name
They're your curved
brand,
ones, yeah.
But they're like, there's more thinner in there. So I just take more.
So they're finer.
Yeah. And then I can come through with the Kenchis and just tidy, those little weird ends with it. There we go. We're going to zip around. Whoop. And then obviously what you've done on one side, you've got to match it on the inside. Otherwise you're just going to have a really weird shape.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks. I'm trying to make it work. I'm new.
No.
All right. There we go. Just tidy them up. So now you can see now.
Yeah.
From one toe to the other toe.
So we're creating that roundness.
We're just a little bit off the table and it just brings this whole foot up.
And he doesn't look like he's wearing slippers.
No. No Grinch feet. You're not a Grinch.
No, Cavies would never be a Grinch.
No. So once we've done the front half and we've done the inside, now I'm going to match it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come around again.
Yep.
And we'll just flip him around. So you can see where I've been on this side up to here. And we've got a bit of a dip here.
Yep.
So now I'm going to grab this comb and we're just going to comb him up and his head's head up and always head up because I've had a few mishaps where the dog's head is down and made this cut and then once the dog's head goes up, the back legs go to outer space.
You can tell I hold a lot of dogs up.
So when I'm making this cut for myself, brush it all down. It's got a bit of static. There we go. Brush it all down. And I'm going to hold this scissor flat to the floor.
Yep.
Bunch it in my scissor and just make that cut so I can see for myself. Even if he moves around, I can still see that line.
Yep.
And then just match it all. Are we all right?
Yeah.
I'm not in the way?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Not something I'm conscious of in the salon, whereas now I'm like, where's the camera? Where's the camera? All right. And then we'll just pick his foot up.
So once you've created the line.
Once I've created that line, I can kind of work around that. I can pick the leg up.
Because you know where it is.
Yeah, I know exactly where I've got to get to. There we go. And just pick up all those little bits on the floor. You see. Still got that line there. Lance, I can hear you being naughty.
I know. We've got like a standoff happening between Lance and Dash.
Is it? Oh, Dash. Yeah. Because Dash thinks he's beautiful. He just doesn't want the attention.
He's being very cheeky today.
Look at me, Dash. Don't look at me.
Wow, so that looks nice. Yeah.
The line meets.
Yeah.
And we've got, it looks natural.
Yeah. And not over-trenched.
But he's not melting. he's not melting into the table.
Yeah.
Nice and tight. But looks natural.
So you would move to would you trim some of this off?
It depends. If he was a pet dog, yes, I would probably take this up a bit tighter.
Yeah.
But if he was, you know, say the customer requested a longer foot or wanted to look more in the breed shape, then I would just take the ends off this and give it a nice shape.
Yeah.
It just depends what the customer wants or what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But if I was going to show him, I would trim it like this, maybe wait a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then you know, and then put him in. Yeah. If I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
Beautiful. Do we want to do a back one?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Done. So it's similar.
Yeah.
So we're brushing all this down. Is it better if he's facing? Actually, yeah. Let's face him this way for 2 seconds.
Okay.
And then I can do. Yep, perfect, done. So brush it all down again, lift the foot up, brush it all out, and then we've got a scissor, and we're almost working, again, in a fan, so anything that comes past the paw pad, it's gone. Out of here, see you later, all gone.
Yeah, so nothing's going to hang over.
Nothing's hanging over these toes.
Yeah.
But near the paw pad.
Yeah.
So... and it's always holding the scissor flat. We don't want any weird angles because then we're going to pinch this foot and we're going to end up some really weird shapes. Yeah. And it's going to look really obvious that you put the scissors to it. There we go. And then do the front. So again, using the nails. Yeah. Coming around and making a nice round foot. And then depending what the back foot looks to the front foot, sometimes I'll do the back foot a little bit smaller. Yeah. But if the toes are a bit splayed out, then obviously make it a bit bigger. Hide them. Put them away. No one wants to see that. All right. There we go. Perfect. So
wow, that's pretty quick, hey?
Easy. Yeah.
So if you were doing a pet dog, then you would come around the top of the foot like I did with Fizzy.
With thinners.
Yep.
Yeah.
To round it up.
I've tried doing it with straights, but you just, because you cut in so far and then the toes start hanging out and things start getting weird. I just always do it with a thinner. Yeah. Just makes it a bit more natural. And even if you keep a bit of fluff on the top there, it just gives that Cavalier look, I guess. Yeah. But
especially because your dogs are fully coated. So if you cut these feet really short, they would almost look like they were on
pin feet.
Yeah, tiny tippy toes.
And then you've got this huge coat, and then you just really pinch.
Because you know how you have those clients that want tight feet. And they want the bigger body, and you're like, oh, it's going to look odd, but I get it because they're walking their dog all the time.
For that particular customer, if they do want a dog in full coat and they do want the feet tight, then I would make this shape really tight, up to the toes and right up to the paw pad. Yeah. But keep this. Yeah. Yeah. And keep a little bit of the Grinch on it, so they've got a little bit of leeway there. Yeah. They don't have those little toes poking out. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we've done the front, and then we're going to come around and meet that shape to the front. And then obviously the same on the inside, because if you don't match it on the inside, they look like they're walking on dinner plates.
Oh, yeah. So I might just,
is it better to turn you?
Yeah, so everyone can see. Because I feel like sometimes people forget about the insides.
Yeah. And then when the dog...
Or like how they attack the inside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where they position their body or... Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like I'm like playing Twister when I'm trimming the insides of dogs' legs sometimes and their feet and...
I've had a few dogs, like especially Cavaliers that are so heavy in coat, that I'll actually turn the dog to face me and lift the dog up.
Okay.
And then go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much, like some of the Cavaliers are hairy.
So do you find, because you have Cavaliers, that you have a lot of Cavaliers as clients?
Yeah. I reckon 85% of my clients are Cavaliers. Yeah.
All right.
I did a whole Cavalier day 3 times this week.
I used to have Bichon days, and they used to kill me.
Yeah.
Kill me. Yeah. And it used to be a Friday, and everyone used to have Fun Day Friday. Yeah. And I'm like, no, Bichon Day Friday. No. Jen, do you have a lot of, I'm going to ask Jen, you have a lot of Japanese Spitz? Yeah. The whole of Melbourne would be going to you.
Word gets out.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Cool. So I've done the front, I've done the sides, and then same what I've done here, I'm going to meet it up on the back.
Okay, yeah.
So depending again what the dog's back end is like, some people do like a tighter hock, some people do a lower hock, some people kind of, I like to go in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I don't like to go too high here because then it puts me off here and we're a bit out of balance.
Okay, yeah.
So just the tippy ends off this.
Is that because it can actually make your dog look like it's running downhill because the front would be heavier?
Yeah, because the front is heavy and I've left, like this on the table and then this is up here. So, it looks
and
like
I guess, that's how I trim. I always trim dogs to movement, so I'm always thinking about what the dog's going to look like on the ground.
Yeah.
That's just
and
my
it kills
background.
Me when you think it looks great, you give the dog back and they walk out the driveway and I'm like,
I know, but people don't see what we see. They don't see it.
Bring it back.
And they'll be like, it looks beautiful, leave it. No, and I know people say that, I don't see that, Mel. And I'm like, no, I see that. I see that. I need to fix it.
But I think it's been helpful over the years that, especially in reoccurring customers, that you can work on that trim and make it better. Yeah. And, try another trick or another technique or another style. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, they look good. Oh, I like that back foot. I'm just looking at it in the
what a beautiful
in the screen.
Boy.
He looks good.
Beautiful. And see, even though the thinners, you think it would take a long time, it doesn't take that much at all. No. And it's such a better finish than if you use straights or straights or curves.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hey. Spunky.
All right, do you want to sit down?
That was the quietest you've been all day. I'm so proud of you.
He's been a bit all over the place. Okay, so did we have any questions, Cor? Anything? No?
No.
Wow, that's a good audience.
Hey. They're just blown away. They're just blown away. Mine's blown.
I know. But so this is, we've done 2 dogs' feet, and I would say they're kind of similar.
Yeah, pretty similar.
There's not a lot of difference, but there is.
Yeah.
I feel like the technique's kind of the same, doing the base of the foot and then building up from the base to the top is very important. But this is probably the end of our live today. So a nice short and sweet one, which is great. But thank you so much for everybody who's joined us today and supported us throughout the year. In January, I just wanted to mention I have quite a few workshops coming up. So some scissoring workshops, hands-on workshops. I think you're going to come to the hands-on.
Yeah, I'll come to the hands-on,
advanced scissoring. So if you want to find out more information or book those workshops, there's a QR code on the screen as well that you can use. So there's quite a few different ones in January. But again, thank you all for joining us. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel because we will pump out a lot more content the more viewers we get, definitely. Yeah. And let us know what you guys want to see. Thank you, Jen. So I'm hoping that my good friend Jen will come on screen one day and we can interview her because she's a new groomer. Yay, Jen. So any questions, if you're rewatching this, please pop your questions down below and I get back to every single person that I possibly can. And until next time, guys, have a safe and merry
What? He was excited. He likes the excitement. Yay!
I'm proud of you. Such a good dog.
Just happened.